Our children, our future, our community, our Bermuda. We need an inclusive and culturally responsive public education system that prepares learners to thrive and lead in Bermuda's future. The Ministry of Education presents Building Bridges.
Good evening, Bermuda, and welcome back to Building Bridges, Education Reform Bermuda. I'm your host, Laurel Burns. In our previous episode, we learned about the significant contributions of community partners to the success of education reform. We continue our journey in this episode with Building Bridges, Empowering Our Educators, where we'll reaffirm the Bermuda government's commitment to supporting teachers as they face the challenges of a new way of teaching and learning.
Don't go anywhere. Building Bridges, Education Reform Bermuda will be right back.
Welcome to Education Reform 101, a series where we break down all your questions about Bermuda's education reform process. The quality of teaching and learning practices Bermuda students experience is variable across the island. Yes, there are pockets of excellence, but we need to ensure that every single student in Bermuda has access. Without this, inequality will grow as quality teaching is the single most important in-school influence on student achievement. With the process of reforming public education in Bermuda, you can expect a model of teaching and learning that incorporates authentic, real-world learning experiences and meaningful projects, attentive to the differing needs of every single child. Incorporating project-based learning, a teaching approach where students actively engage in real-world, personally meaningful projects, time spent out of school exploring and experiencing the world of work, teachers incorporating a range of high-impact teaching strategies to deeply engage students in their learning and community partners leading or supporting the teaching and learning, drawing on all of the community assets to ensure the learning is personalized, authentic, and connected. As we continue to develop the curriculum, we will keep you updated. To learn more about education reform in Bermuda, please visit www.learningfirstbda.com or follow @LearningFirstBDA on Instagram, Twitter, now known as X, or Facebook.
Welcome back to the program.
We know that for students to have dynamic and successful educational journeys, their experiences have to be grounded in high-quality curriculum and learning experiences. As our guest today, we have Dr. Llewellyn Simmons, the Director of Academics for the Department of Education. And he's going to discuss what is involved in getting our teachers set up for success and expanding their knowledge base. Welcome to Building Bridges, Dr. Simmons.
Thank you for having me.
So as the Director of Academics, you do play a pivotal role in working with the teachers in our public school system. Mm-hmm. What is your actual role in supporting teaching during the education reform process?
As the Director of Academics, the key role really is supporting my officers in their support of teachers, making sure that they have the necessary resources to deliver their content, whether it's math, science, across all disciplines, mm-hmm. Assisting teachers in the buzzwords, whether it's differentiated instruction, thematic instruction, all those different teaching methodologies to ensure that our children are met where they are. Mm-hmm. We have to meet children where they are. Mm-hmm. And so we give the teachers the necessary tools and resources that empower our teachers to empower our students. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we have our cadre of officers who support teachers. Mm-hmm. Now, as an extension, we know that education is based on community. It's everybody's job, right?
Bottom line.
And so we want to know, how can parents and guardians actively support and collaborate with educators to create a conducive learning environment mm-hmm. for students, both at school and at mm-hmm. home?
Well, the collaboration is important between parents, school, and when we talk about the extended community, mm-hmm. even our extended partners, industry. We're all in this together, mm-hmm. right? So it's definitely a thing of knowing, again, what are the resources we are bringing to the learning environment? And that's the key statement, learning. Mm-hmm. It's learning, people, right? Not schooling, it's learning. We want our children to understand themselves as learners. We always talk about being lifelong learners. So being lifelong learners is a supportive, integrated experience with community, family members, how attuned are parents with their children's learning. We're not saying that you're going to do all their mathematics. We're not saying that you're going to do all of their assignments, but at least you should be knowledgeable of what your children their interests. That's the key thing. What are the interests, the motivations that your children are bringing to the learning, and how do you as a parent support that? With teachers.
With teachers.
With teachers. It's a partnership.
Now let's expand a bit further, right? And nothing's new under the sun. We had elements of this successful, and we want to expand upon. So talk to us more about how, in what ways the broader community, including alumni and our business partners and organizations, in what ways they can contribute to the professional learning and support of teachers as they adapt to the new teaching methods and technologies.
Well, part of this experience is trusting young people with their learning, right? Number one.
Yes.
It's very difficult for adults right now to step away adults, ask those young people, what's your interests? What motivations do they bring to the classroom? What specific topics do they have about, if you're talking mathematics, but how do they see the culturally responsiveness of mathematics in their day-to-day? And how do you meet them where they are? So these are the key things. And I use that term, being culturally responsive. Culturally responsive in the context, here we are in Bermuda. How many of our teachers, our parents, engage our children in their everyday environment and understanding the mathematical principles of their daily existence? I didn't teach math, but I'm a strong advocate that math is in everything that we do. I debate anyone, not necessarily that you have to debate, but it's in everything that we do. So how do we get our children to understand who they are? What role does mathematics play in their coexistence? And we have this thing in terms of, everyone has a math code. Some people may articulate that in the context of their own DNA. But again, as I'm interrelating with you, if I'm in the classroom with a teacher, that teacher has a personality. It's about relationship building, right? And we know about, when we're talking about in our own partnerships, it's about chemistry. So I want to respect and meet that young person where he or she is. They're not empty vessels to me. They bring a learning experience to the classroom. Can I trust myself by stepping away, asking the right questions? And the right questions means those higher order thinking types of questions. So we have to give our children the opportunity, ask their questions, and not be intimidated by the type of questions that they ask, which is very important. Some of the questions, may throw people off in terms of their personal beliefs. That which you are not prepared to answer, at least let people know. But do not shun or turn off young people from asking their questions. Individualized learning, we hear a lot about that. And the 21st century experience of learning today is really about a personalized learning experience.
Absolutely.
Right? And a personalized learning experience, again, gets back to what interests do you have, Lou? What interests do you have, Laurel? All right? In terms of your day-to-day realities, and how do we assist you in meeting that and understanding that?
Awesome.
Yeah.
And using our broader community helps to support.
Without a doubt.
Absolutely.
It's the broader community is our extended network, is our extended library of knowledge management, knowledge and information. That's what our broader community is. And none of our children should be intimidated, shunned, to ask anyone in our community about their learning experience, or the simple things really of our daily lives that we probably take for granted. If you and I could go on and on these subjects.
I know.
So when I see my children at the bus stops and stuff, that's a lesson. But do we shun them because we're intimidated by 100 children at the bus stop and they are doing what young people do? They appear rowdy, but they're there all talkative and so forth. Do you have a conversation with them? So those are great opportunities to engage our young people.
The conversation will continue in a moment.
Hey Bermuda, are you ready to make a difference in our young people's lives? The Education Reform Unit is on the lookout for passionate educators and community champions just like you. Join our school transformation team and be a part of revolutionizing public education in Bermuda. Help shape signature schools and parish primary schools that will transform our public school system. Ready to make a change? Contact us today at www.learningfirstbda.com or email schoolredesign@moed.pm. Let's build a brighter future for Bermuda's youth together.
Welcome back to the program.
Looking at teacher empowerment, can you share some examples of how teacher empowerment has led to innovative and student-centered learning experiences in Bermuda and the long-term impact of learning experiences in our education system?
Well, because that's a loaded question in terms of when we talk about, I want to reflect on the student-centered piece. So when we talk about our teachers, if you're talking anything student-centered, right away the teacher understands this is not about you. This is not, if it's student-centered, again, and we use these terms in education. I'm just going to say we may be in reform. We've been using it for the last 20 years. Do we do it? Do we do it? Maybe in Laurel's classroom, she might do it. But it's not a cultural practice of our learning. Because again, it gets back to, if you're talking anything that's student-centered, it speaks to meeting students where they are. It's turning the learning experience over to children, over to the students in the classroom. Let them teach the class. How comfortable and confident are you? That's very empowering. Just by you doing that as a teacher, allowing a student, a child or students to do that is an indication that you yourself as a teacher, when you talk about your empowerment, have a depth of knowledge about what you deliver.
I just want to tie in one small piece there because I think you're absolutely correct. How do we create the balance? And you are the director of academics and of a curriculum. How do we create a balance between meeting students where they are and the demands of curriculum and standards and accomplishing what needs to be accomplished in a certain amount of time? How do we empower teachers to create a balance between understanding our standards and where we would like children to take our children, but truly meeting them where they are?
You're bringing up a question that often, teachers are expected to deliver the content of a curriculum. And, we always talk about the pacing of what you
There we go. Exactly.
We talk about the pacing of what you deliver. And some of the misconception that people have about the curricula, the deliverables of the curricula, is that everything in the curriculum is to be taught. And you talk about standards. Well, what are those key standards that we want to get across to our children? And are we, as a culture in the classroom, placing emphasis on those key standards? The balance in that is knowing that you don't teach everything, but you teach those key essentials, those essential questions, those key components that we say we want children to know and understand. The bottom line is, what is it that students know? What is it they can do with what you've taught?
Absolutely.
That's the bottom line.
Doc, we have 30 seconds left, but I want you to share your vision as we engage in reform in the next 5 to 10 years. Where do you see us?
Well, everybody, I don't shy away from my advocacy on what education is in a colonized education system.
Okay.
My whole thing and modus operandi of education is decolonize minds. So we talk about changing mindsets. I want changing mindsets that our children understand and become independent learners. Number one, they're motivated to learn. And I believe they're motivated to learn most when we meet them where they are, not where you are shaping and dictating where you think they should be in the world. Meet them where they are, move them toward becoming independent learners and having a decolonized mindset. Yeah.
Dr. Llewellyn Simmons, Director of Academics, Bermuda Department of Education. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Don't go anywhere. Building Bridges. Education Reform Bermuda will be right back.
Important to know what skills do you need to have.
The Signature Taster Program, a groundbreaking initiative designed by Bermuda's exceptional educators and education specialists, supports our young people 11 to 14 years old in unlocking their full potential and taking charge of their educational journey.
I want to learn how to help children in Bermuda.
We've left no stone unturned to ensure this program achieves its aim.
From there, education became more fun for me.
The Signature Taster program is the passport to confidently selecting a signature school that perfectly aligns with our students' strengths, passions, values, and ambitions.
Anybody have any questions?
We believe every student deserves an opportunity to cultivate a sense of agency and to be in control of their future. That's why the Signature Taster program plays a pivotal role in empowering our young people to make informed choices about their educational path.
They're all have different diets. So that's Truffle's the biggest one in the back. She's the one who likes to throw tantrums. They're very fast, yeah. So if they hear our voice, they're going for the target. So they know it's lunchtime. So I'll go over and I'll feed them a little bit and I'll say something.
We have 5 dynamic modules carefully designed to awaken our students' potential as they discover new passions, explore their talents, and uncover opportunities awaiting them. We believe in nurturing the leaders of tomorrow and encourage them to find their path and embrace their journey in the Signature Taster program.
Is a trail that tells the stories of people of African descent that have been spread across the globe as a result of slavery. We look at the history, these markers tell the stories of enslavement on the island.
For more information on the Signature Tasting program, visit the Education Reform website at www.learningfirstbda.com or email schoolredesign@moed.pm.
Welcome back to the program.
You may have heard the term upskilling before as it pertains to our educators. But what exactly is that? With us today, we have Shaquita Parson of the Department of Education. Shaquita, I want to start off first to just talk to you about your journey with education reform. How has that been for you over the last few years?
My journey has been, it's been a great journey. I've enjoyed it. Everything's not going to be perfect, so it's working through the hard times and supporting teachers. So going through the process and helping the system move to transform our school system, it has been a great time for us.
Okay. So we want to talk today about upskilling, and you're currently in the role of Education Officer for IT. So you want to tell us a bit about that and how that is in support of upskilling our teachers and in what ways we want to lift their learning and capabilities.
Okay. So in my role as the IT Education Officer, I find that it's very important for our teachers to upskill themselves around the technology needs. There is a lot of digital tools available that can enhance teaching and learning, that would support some of our struggling learners, that can support our learners that are above average, and even support teachers along their journey to upskill themselves, because we can utilize online self-paced courses, giving teachers what they need at their time, not always waiting for system PD days, but just being able to provide those opportunities through the technology realm that enhances teaching and learning.
So are you able to share with the audience maybe some specific examples of platforms or opportunities that our educators have in terms of being able to upskill themselves?
Okay. So over the past couple years, we've introduced Schoology to the system, which is a learning management system that is a one-stop shop where you can create assignments, add videos, have interactive tools like Edpuzzle, Kahoots, and links like that. And it's in one-stop shop. Students have received their Chromebooks. So every child at this time from P1 to year 7, in some instances, have Chromebooks that they can have access to. So we've provided teachers with PD throughout the school year and even this summer going around enhancing their assignments and things that they can do to make their classes more interactive with the students, and also allowing the students to move through their own paces versus teaching math right now and everybody has to be doing the same thing, whereas a student can be doing something else on their Chromebook if they need extra support or if they're further ahead, they can be utilizing this platform. So that's one of the areas that tools that we have at the moment.
Looking at this current landscape in reform and the work that you do, how do you see the role of teachers evolving in the classroom and the work that they do with students?
As teachers, we should be facilitators of learning, right? And being there to manage what is going on in the classroom, but still giving that support and teaching what the students need to know. So I see our role as teachers a bit transforming and allowing students to allow them to go and learn things for themselves. So guiding them, giving them the resources that they need through technology, and being able to learn things ahead of time before they teach it, being able to provide students with additional support through technology. So I see teaching transforming where I don't want to say so much hands off, but being more of a supportive role and guiding them through the journey, because we are moving through, as you know or may not know, AI is quickly evolving.
Well aware of AI, absolutely.
And I spent a lot of reading and courses this summer. So if we teach children how to be digital citizens, right? If we teach that and upskill our teachers in that area, they can further support these technology pieces and knowing what digital tools to bring in within their lessons to enhance our children and our growth, because that's where most of our jobs are going to be going to, right?
Don't go anywhere. Building Bridges. Education Reform Bermuda will be right back.
This is Education Reform Bermuda.
I am proud to be a part of the team that is working to shift the educational system to address the needs of our young people now.
I'm honored to be a part of the team that developed the new graduation requirements to ensure that students who leave the Bermuda Public School system with the Bermuda Signature School Diploma will have the necessary skills, experience, knowledge, values, and relationships for them to be successful in employment and for them to be successful upon entering colleges and universities.
This is Education Reform Bermuda.
My name is Kimani Dean. My age is 11 and I go to Purvis Primary School. My favorite subjects are both music and art. One of the reasons why I like art is because I can explain my feelings and emotions into drawings. I feel that education helps our dreams and goals. It's for health and science, for instance. If someone would like to become a doctor or a veterinarian, science and health both collide together and help understand what would happen with the human body or animals' bodies, and it could tell you different features or how the system works.
Welcome back to the program.
This new era of education, what are some essential qualities you think our teachers need in order to exceed in this new, and I call it rapid area of education and how it's shifting even on the global stage?
So, is that qualities?
Essential qualities to succeed, yeah.
Not to be afraid.
Okay.
Not
be
to be
fearless.
Be fearless. Test things out, try it, and being able to learn certain platforms. For me, it's like taking them in tiers, like knowing where you are as an educator what support I need. Don't be afraid to ask for the assistance, ask for the help. And then we can build personalized learning for the teachers, right? Because that's where we're moving as well. So if I'm coming in brand new and I don't have this foundation, we should be able to have something here that I start here and we move them up into tiers. And so having the qualities of being open-minded, knowing that these tools can help them and streamline and make their work a little bit easier. Work smart, not hard.
Work smart and not hard.
Right?
No, I get it. So just envision, and let's look at just the educator space right now. Envision us in the next 5 to 10 years in this space of reform. Where do you envision us as educators in that space and how we would have evolved?
I would start with an ELA classroom, right? And writing and talking about a struggling learner, a person that has difficulty writing. I need to write a nonfiction story. I may have my sentence starter and I'm using a AI tool that says, can you write the next 2 sentences for me? So now this student can see what nonfiction writing looks like, and then they have to write the next. So it's us teaching them what prompts to use, it's us teaching them what to ask, helping the teachers to ask questions to get that support. There's other tools like in math, if a child is struggling to add or do division, it's one that takes them step by step. Help me do this. So following those steps is an AI, because the teacher may not be quickly or readily available to assist that child, but here's the tool. I could type it in or speak into it and help me do my steps.
We're working in collaboration with the technology.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's, and everyone's fearful it's going to take over. No, but humans are still needed and will be needed, and we have to be the facilitators of learning.
And we will be right there with them.
Yes. Yeah. So for me, it's what I would like to see is more technology, PD being offered, bringing them from Google School at the moment, so upskilling them around using Google tools, using those platforms, and then just building a database of digital tools that here's the title, here's the description, and here's how it can help
ready to be accessible.
Teaching and learning. So they have a resource already of digital tools that they can utilize.
Okay, lots happening for our educators, even for them to be able to upskill. Thank you for explaining that to us today. It has been a pleasure having you on Building Bridges, and we will hopefully have you back again sometime. That's all for today's episode of Building Bridges, empowering our educators. Thank you to everyone that has supported education reform. And remember, together we can build a brighter future for Bermuda's youth. I'm Laurel Burns. Take care.